back. I am sitting here today with Dr. Andre Vermeulen from Neuro-Link. If you missed the beginning part of the program, I'm really sorry about that because it's been fascinating to hear Dr. Andre's viewpoint, or basically to hear his description and interpretation of neuroscience through his company Neuro-Link, which is fascinating. So, Dr. Andre, during the break, we were talking about the possible concern and maybe stereotypical fear that could maybe come in with a person when they hear the idea of, oh gosh, now they've got to go through some type of brain profile and a testing, and maybe they're going to come across as being stupid.
Yeah.
Can you put our viewers' minds at ease about that whole concern?
Yes, absolutely. You know what, Tracy, I think most people feel a little bit threatened by the idea of a test, because
Yes.
a test always suggests that I can pass something, but I can also fail
Right.
something.
Yes.
And that is very important, that people have to understand that what we do is not a test.
Yes.
It is an assessment, or it's simply just a questionnaire
Okay.
that people fill in.
Right.
And the purpose of the questionnaire is for you to learn to understand your own amazing neurological design.
Okay.
You know, if you understand that you're a 4x4, you'll know where you should be.
Yes.
If you're a BMW, you should be on the racetrack.
Correct.
But
Correct.
that means you need to first understand your design before you'll be clear
Yes.
on where should I be.
Right.
And in
you
life,
made a statement just now and during the break, which I really liked. You said you cannot fail at your own design.
absolutely, you
I
can
love
never
that.
fail at your own design, but we're
Yes.
all very unique. And you need to understand your strengths, your gifts, and your talents.
Okay.
And that is what makes you add value to the world, is when you understand those gifts, strengths, and
Yes.
talents, and you make that available for the benefit of people, but also for yourself.
Correct.
But that's what you bring to the workplace,
Yes.
what you bring to a team,
Yes.
what you offer the world.
And there's that saying that says you can't put how does it go, a square peg in a round hole, or the other way
Yeah,
around.
absolutely.
And I think, Dr. Andre, in so many cases, when we approach our children, when we maybe approach our employees, when we approach our own purpose in life, often we try to fit into an area that we actually were not designed to fit into.
Absolutely. You know, one of our biggest challenges in life is we may sometimes understand our own truth, although many people, like myself, for decades, I was not even accurate about my own truth, about who I really was.
Okay.
Everything I actually believed that I was not was what I discovered is actually who I am.
Okay.
But we know our own truth. But then we project that truth to the world. So we often refer to this as the people like me principle.
All
So
right.
we want to connect, and we even expect other people to be like me.
Okay.
And that's the worst thing that we can
Yes.
do, is just like our fingerprints differ, so does the way that we learn and think and who we are.
Right.
And we need to have that space in our mind to allow another to be.
Right.
And you know,
Sure.
that's one of those
incredible.
things, so many times in life we expect others to be like me,
Yes.
or they must fit into my bracket and the way that I see things.
Yes.
And what we have to understand is God made us all
Totally
very unique,
unique.
and we should be.
Yes.
The word human means be. Be what? Be who
Be
you
who
are.
you were designed to be. I can think of so many maybe employers that are watching this program right now. If you've got a company with a couple of staff members or a whole group of staff members, the frustration that could be solved if they understood, if their staff members were in the right positions according to
Absolutely.
their design. Can you imagine the freedom of expression, or the freedom, the joy that the staff would experience by being filtered into the positions that they actually should be in,
Yeah.
opposed to being forced into a position that they don't really want to be in?
Absolutely. In Jim Collins's books, From Built to Last and From Good to Great, he very specifically mentions that one of the trademarks of optimizing people's performance is getting the right person on the right bus on the right seat.
Sure.
Meaning
Wow.
with that, when we play people to their strengths,
Yes.
and they get a chance to live themselves out in the workplace and being who they were designed to be.
Correct.
You talk about people who love what they do, but they also feel that they are adding value, but they're
Right.
also feeling that they are actually actualizing themselves.
Okay.
And that is
Okay.
the trademark of a good leader, is to find out who is the people that I'm responsible for,
Yes.
and help them
Yes.
to be the best by playing them towards their strengths.
Right.
But then I need to know what that is. Even
Absolutely.
as a parent, I need to help my child become the best they can be,
Yes.
but then I've got to be clear, who is that?
For sure.
And not project my dreams or my truths
Sure.
towards my
On
children.
them. I think that is such a key when you say not project your dream onto your children or onto your
Absolutely.
employees or onto your spouse, as a matter of fact. Because the fact is, as you said, we want other people to be who we want them to be.
Yeah.
But in that case, people are going to constantly fail you.
And
your
that's
staff
why-
will constantly fail because they're not actually fitted into the role that they should be in.
That's why so many successful and talented people actually feel like failures.
Sure.
Because you didn't act up to my perspective
Right.
or my expectations of who I wanted you to be.
Yeah, that is quite something. I think
Yes.
that if you have a company, or if you're a parent, or it doesn't actually matter, if you're just a person, which you have to be if you're watching this program, this is something that every person should go through. We should all be assessed, and it doesn't sound so scary anymore now that we've cleared up what that actually is, because as soon as we can understand our design, and that scripture comes to mind of Jeremiah 29 verse 11, which is a very famous scripture where God says, God states, I know the plans I have for you. And often we're like, okay, God, what is that plan? And I believe that what you are saying here, that Neuro-Link is offering the tool, one of the, I'm sure many tools out there, but a really awesome tool to help people discover what that design is so that they can get activated in their plan.
Absolutely. I believe that every person were born to do something in this world,
Yes.
and do something good, to bring something great to this world.
Absolutely.
And the clue of what it is that you have to accomplish before your time is up here
Sure.
is to look inside, look at your design and say, what does that tell me? If I've been equipped with a gift to work with people and a
Yes.
gift to be language smart,
Right.
what does that mean? So obviously in my toolbox, I've been equipped with those two talents,
Yeah.
because it's going to be part of my calling. So those talents start giving you a clue and an indication
Very good.
of who you actually should become.
Very good.
Absolutely so.